she heads for confirmation to be the next Supreme Court justice. Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney, and Susan Collins all say they will vote in her favor. Former President Obama visits his former vice president at the White House today. Here's ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
President Biden, Vice President Harris, and former President Barack Obama will talk about celebrating the success of the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid in extending affordable health insurance to millions of Americans. The White House also says Mr. Biden will announce new action to further strengthen the ACA and save families hundreds of dollars a month on their health care.
There's never been a comeback like this one, and it sounded like this at the buzzer on the campus of Kansas University. The Jayhawks, trailing by 15 points at the half, rallied to beat the Tar Heels of North Carolina and win the men's NCAA basketball championship 72-69. This is ABC News.
Stress. It never seems to end when you owe money to the IRS. What about the years of unfiled tax returns? Have you tried another tax service and gotten nowhere? Then you need Tax Alliance. Why? Years of being A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau with no consumer complaints sets them apart. Call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097. Don't wait until the IRS attacks your wages, bank account, your home or pension, and even your Social Security check. Tax Alliance specializes in IRS tax relief programs, including the Fresh Start Initiative, which can finally free yourself from IRS debt. Their tax professionals can file returns, fight the IRS to substantially lower your IRS debt, or possibly even have it forgiven. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097.
Tax Alliance, your tax resolution solution.
After months of COVID cases dropping, 15 states plus Puerto Rico now say they are seeing an increase. The New York area seeing a 50% spike in COVID recently. New federal numbers show gas prices nationally down about 6 cents in the last week. That's not enough, though, to slow down gas thieves. Police in Florida say they've arrested 6 people accused of tampering with gas pumps and stealing about $60,000 worth of fuel. A romance writer who wrote an essay more than a decade ago titled How to Murder Your Husband is on trial in Oregon, accused of doing just that. ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
Nancy Crampton Brophy is charged with murdering her husband Daniel, a beloved chef who was shot in 2018 where he worked. Crampton Brophy told police she was at home the morning of the murder, but police say surveillance video shows her van near the scene. She is expected to take the stand during the trial, but a judge ruled that 2011 essay, How to Murder Your Husband, cannot be entered into evidence.
Prosecutors say the couple was having financial troubles and Crampton Brophy wanted to collect her husband's life insurance. And the nose knows what it likes. Apparently it likes vanilla. A new University of Oxford study says vanilla is liked pretty much around the world. On the other end of the spectrum, cheese and sweaty feet. Researchers say cultural differences played virtually no role in what we like or don't like, at least when it comes to smell. This is ABC News.
As a parent, you know kids are amazing and expensive. But with Fabric, protecting your family with term life insurance is surprisingly affordable with a personalized policy for your family starting at less than $1 a day. It's quick, easy, all online, and you could be approved instantly. Plus, no risk, cancel anytime. Secure your family's financial future today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life, not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Shouldn't you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 288-0395.
As we start our Tuesday, the clouds are increasing. Later this afternoon, rain is likely, perhaps even some thunderstorms. And the closer you get to South Carolina, the better chance for a thunderstorm to become strong. The high in the upper 60s to low 70s. Early showers and storms tonight, otherwise cloudy and mild. The low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, wow, what a day. Partly to mostly sunny, windy and warm. The high in the lower 80s. We have another chance for showers and storms come Thursday. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
We're starting out cloudy, but we should be warming up and getting a little sun. And then this afternoon, be prepared with your umbrellas. Right now, we have 41 degrees and wind gusting today to about 40 miles per hour. And that chance of precipitation about 90%. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, now have these death announcements this morning. Autumn Ruby Hauser Johnson, age 19, of Mooresboro, passed away Friday, April 1st. The family will receive friends on Wednesday, April 6th from 12 until 1:45 in the sanctuary of Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Mooresboro. The funeral service will follow at 2 o'clock with Reverend Rob Hefner and Reverend Ray Hefner officiating. Burial will be in the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church Cemetery. Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside is serving the family of Autumn Ruby Hauser Johnson. Larry Dale Qualls, 67, of Rutherfordton, died Saturday at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be sent to us. Robert Morgan Funeral and Cremation Service of Moreland Springs. Again, this Larry Dale Quells of Rutherfordton. Benjamin Andy Pyatt, 40, of Forest City, died Wednesday, March 30th at his home. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be sent to us for Benjamin Andy Pyatt of Forest City. Autumn Ruby Hauser Johnson of Mooresboro, we mentioned that one. Family receiving friends on Wednesday from 12 until 1:45 in the sanctuary of Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Mooresboro. Martha Flack Faree, 89, of Forest City, died Saturday, April the 2nd at Fairhaven, Bostic. A service from the graveside will be held at 11 o'clock Wednesday at Pleasant Grove United Methodist Church Cemetery with Reverend Dr. Garen Hill and Reverend Dr. Diane Nelson officiating. The family will receive friends following the service at the cemetery. Paget King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Martha Flack Faree of Forest City. Master Sergeant Stephen Dwayne Brooks, U.S. Air Force, retired, age 76, of Union Mills, died Sunday, April 3rd at his home. A service from the graveside with military honors will be held at Corinth Baptist Church Cemetery on Saturday, April 9th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with Reverend Dr. Tony McCraw. A visitation will be held Saturday afternoon at the Paget and King Mortuary from 1:30 until 2:30 prior to the service. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements. An online guest registry available at pagetking.com for Master Sergeant Stephen Dwayne Brooks, U.S. Air Force, retired. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, tune in this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report for the complete obituary program here on WCAB. Well, if you just woke up and slept last night, the good news or the bad news, depending on which side you were pulling on, Kansas beat UNC 72-69 last night in the final game of the NCAA. Tar Heels were running away with it pretty much on the first half, but second half they lost it. Kansas 72, UNC 69. That wraps up basketball for a while. Come next, Braves. That'll be Braves' first game Thursday with Cincinnati. Braves and the Cincinnati Reds, 6:50 airtime, 8 o'clock first pitch, and we'll have a Braves action here at WCAB. We also have the Braves pocket schedules. They came in yesterday, so if you all those who like to have those in your hand, come by and pick up one. We have several of those, a bunch of us, matter of fact. We're glad to share with you those schedules. Bill O'Reilly Morning Update is next.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful news, and a magazine full of uncensored content. They are pushing back against efforts to defund the police, weaken the borders, and corrupt our youth. But they need your help. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. On this Tuesday, I hope you caught my analysis of the Will Smith smackdown of Chris Rock yesterday, but there was something else at the Oscars I want to mention. To no one's surprise, the ladies hosting the event were woke, and they got out there and they started to slam Florida for the so-called Don't Say Gay Act, which is really the Don't Teach Little Kids Things They Can't Possibly Understand Act. It is not true that Florida has another law in the works called You Can Say Gay If It Makes You Happy, and you're not in a position of brainwashing 5-year-olds. ABC carries the Oscar telecast, as you may know. That's owned by Disney, the most woke of corporations, the House of Mouse, now deeply invested in shaping America so it reflects the values of Sunset Boulevard. I still cannot believe a top Disney executive said publicly that she has rejected brilliant scripts because they were written by white men. Wasn't Walt Disney white? I guess his vision would have hit the wastepaper basket were he alive today. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with diversity and inclusion as long as it's accompanied by honesty and merit. All Americans should support an equal pursuit of happiness for everyone, and if oppression happens, we fight that. But young people deserve a childhood devoid of complication and indoctrination, and their parents should not have their authority eroded by woke fanatics. Now this. Supply chain issues have been a catalyst for bringing manufacturing back to the USA. Jeff Brown, founder of Brownstone Research, calls it the Great Recalibration. And he discusses it in his newsletter, The Near Future Report. For 35 years, Jeff has helped his subscribers safely navigate volatile times in the market. Let Jeff help you by signing up for his newsletter today at a 75% discount, a 12-month subscription, only $49 at jeffbrowntech.com, jeffbrowntech.com. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Stay in touch with your tax dollars. Listen to the Commish Report and the School Board Report each month live here on WCAB. The reports are heard the following morning after the meetings. WCAB, keeping you informed as well as entertained.
This is Gilbert. I'm back on the air every Saturday from 8 to 9. So put on a pot of coffee, sit down, and listen to Gilbert Talks Taxes. You just might learn something.
Marquis de Moray came to the Dakota Territory with today's equivalent of $52 million. His idea was to build a packing plant in the Dakota Territory and ship processed meat back east. Things were going well for him until he got in a shootout and ended up in jail on murder charges. There was another cattleman in the Dakotas named Theodore Roosevelt. Earlier, Roosevelt had brought cattle to de Moray, and de Moray wouldn't honor the agreed-upon price. As Roosevelt left, he was heard to say that he didn't care for de Moray, but he feels sorry for his wife. While de Moray was in jail, stories circulated about the quarrel between he and Roosevelt. De Moray, wanting favorable press, wrote Roosevelt a letter with threatening tones. Although de Moray had a reputation as a duelist, Roosevelt responded that he was ever ready to hold himself accountable. Although acquitted, de Moray's problems were mounting up. The cattle weren't arriving fast enough to keep his packing house busy. Seeing another business opportunity, he bought 4 coaches and started a 215-mile stage route between Medora and Deadwood, hoping to get a government mail contract. But when things go bad, they really go bad. He had to close his packing plant. He never got the mail contract, and he sold his coaches to Buffalo Bill Cody. On October of 1886, a broke Marquis de Moray locked the doors of his 26-room mansion and returned to France. That mansion stands today, furnished just as it was when de Moray left.
You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has added 2 new sandwiches to their menu. Try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only, hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Congratulations to Jesse James Railroad Express, voted 2021 Best of Rutherford County hot dogs and hamburgers 5 years in a row.
Now let's head to the phones and find out what's been going on around the neighborhood the past few hours. And on the phone with you right now is our Sheriff Chris Francis to give us that update. Sheriff, good morning. How you doing?
Jim, I'm doing excellent this morning. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing as well as the daybreak out there. It looks good.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what's been going on.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responds to 184 calls for service. There have been 22 arrests at the county jail, and we have 169 in custody. Among those arrested, Darby Von Angel, 67-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear, and received a $750 secure bond. Christopher Michael Mitchell, 36-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with larceny. This was a Polk County case that he was served that warrant on. Dodie Michelle Towery, 49-year-old female of Boston, was charged with larceny and received a written promise to appear. Anthony Jesus Luciero, 41-year-old male of Far City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Angelica Dawn Peeler, 29-year-old female of Far City, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. David Gene Luckadoo, 52-year-old male of Far City, was charged with communicating threats and see a district court judge for bond. Addie Marie Elizabeth Browning, 20-year-old female of Ruston, was charged with 8 counts of failure to appear and received a $24,000 secure bond. Samantha Marie Chassie, 41-year-old female of Boston, was charged with 2 counts of a, looks like, true bill of indictment. And then we had Keenan Gerard Ramsey, 30-year-old male of Far City, charged with failure to appear, failure to comply, and received a $500 cash bond. Jonathan David Pritchard, 35-year-old male of Far City, was charged with failure to comply and received a $658 cash bond. Jason Daniel Corn, 37-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with possession of meth, possession of marijuana, 2 counts of resisted direct delay, received a parole, also had a parole hold with no bond, and received a $10,000 unsecured bond on the other charges. John Michael Watson, 35-year-old male of Ruston, charged with failure to appear and received a $500 bond. And Alva Rashawn Hunt, 30-year-old male of Boston, was charged on a habitual felon true bill and received an unsecured bond. We had, as far as instance in obtaining property by false pretense on Pilgrim Road in Ellenboro, someone made withdrawals from the victim's account without authorization in the amount of $3,045 total. And those were from Apple Pay, but were not authorized. We had an ID theft on Porsche Ford Road in Ruston. Looks like someone had received information to their credit, had a bad reading because it was an unpaid bill in New York State, a medical bill that the victim was not responsible for. And we had a B&E in Larceny, Maryland Drive in Far City, where the victim said that someone had came in and taken $100 out of a wallet inside the house. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
All right, Sheriff, thank you very much. Let's divert from that just a moment, and I want to plug the Birdies for Baby charity golf tournament. I know you're involved with Hands of Hope. Tell us a little bit about that golf tournament that's coming up.
Well, we're excited to have our Hands of Hope golf tournament. I don't have that date right in front of me. I believe, let me take a look at my calendar.
Saturday, April 23rd.
Saturday, April 23rd. It's going to be an afternoon. I did speak to Michelle there at Hands of Hope yesterday, and there's still time for teams to sign up. We have, I do believe, 14 teams in, and there's room for 22 teams. So we want people to come in, 4-man teams, playing best ball. There's a lot of good prizes. It should be an exciting time, and it's for a great cause. Hands of Hope does good work in our county for young ladies who, and all age ladies really, but young ladies who need some help, who are expecting and have a lot of questions. These ladies there at Hands of Hope can have answers for them. But last year, it was a great time. I had a lot of golfers, a lot of good food, and a lot of good golf, actually, believe it or not, there at Meadowbrook. So hopefully folks will put put that date on the calendar and get online and register there for Hands of Hope for life.
Sheriff, thank you very much. That's a good cause. Again, that's Saturday, April 23rd at Meadowbrook, and there's room for more teams to play. Have a good day, Sheriff. Be safe out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
How hot is the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery? Well, with a top prize of $700,000 and a bonus game on the back, people everywhere are hot to trot, in hot pursuit, and hot on the trail of these little hotcakes. So get out of your hot tub, put on your hot pants, and hot rod on over to strike while the iron is hot and pick up the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-offs before someone else starts their hot streak and you find yourself left out in the cold. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.65. Problem gambling. Helpline 877-718-5543.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Now here is Marie reporting from the Communications Center to give us the news. Good morning, Marie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's on your report?
Okay, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Centers processed 435 911 administrative calls, which consisted of 67 for EMS. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Department had 184, Forest City had 73, Lake Lure had 8, Rutherford had 39, Spindale had 45. For fire calls, Ellenborough responded to a structure fire, Green Hill responded to a woods fire, Hudlow responded to a motor vehicle accident and a fire investigation. SDO responded to a brush fire and a fire investigation. And that's all I have for the morning.
Thanks, Marie. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Well, imagine quality primary health care and urgent care services for you without the hassles. It's available to you and your family from Brock Family Care. Family medicine the way it ought to be. No insurance to deal with. General primary medical care, chronic disease prevention and management, urgent care, medication management, and so much more. Brock Family Care is a membership-based model where patients pay their primary care provider directly through monthly or annual fees rather than paying through an insurance provider. Not accepting any forms of health insurance cuts out the hassles and allows for more personalized and affordable health care. It may be time to move into this health plan like this one for you and your family or your business. Call today to find out more information. Here's the number. Write it down. It's 828-744-0001. This is the way health care should be. Call 744-0001. Brock Family Care, Shallow Road, Forest City. Now here's Ruby Taylor with the Danieltown SDO report. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
Everything going your way?
Well, my way, yeah, but the fire department had one call, and that was to a brush fire. And on my birthday counter, I don't have nobody today, and the signs are in the arms today and tomorrow, Jim. That's all I got.
All right. Keep up the work over there, and I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled A-R-Y-E-E. Here's Gary Wilson now on the hill up there at Fairfield Mountains Fire District. Gary, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Jim. How you doing?
Doing great. What's on the report?
Well, we're quiet up here this morning. No calls overnight. two clouds rolling in, sitting on about 44 degrees. Because we got some rain coming in later today and tonight, so it'll be good with the woods down a little bit. Dry out pretty quick this time of year. But did you watch that ball game last night?
No, I didn't watch it. I went on to bed. That's a little bit late for me to stay up, but it was a good one, wasn't it?
Almost midnight before it was over with.
Yeah. Now, what I read and heard, it looked like UNC was dominating it the first half.
They did. They had them down by 15 points in the first half, and then I think it just ran out of gas in the second half. I don't know. They just couldn't find the basket in the second half and turning the ball over. And I think they started playing a lot better too. So still a good game, but a close game. Had a good season, so that's what counts.
72-69. That's not bad scores.
No, sure ain't. And that's about all we got up here this morning, Jim.
All right, Gary, we can certainly give the Tar Heels a big round of applause because they had a good season.
They did. They had a good year. Sure did.
Good one for the first-year coach they had. It was a good way for him to go all the way to the top his first year there.
Doing pretty good, you do that.
Yeah, man. Listen, have a good day up there, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You too.
All right, bye. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Now the Burn Upton's up next. She's over in the Bostic Fire District. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
Well, over here in Bostic, we have 43 degrees. We're expecting some heavy rain later on today. The fire department had no calls. We have one birthday, Millie Lovelace. We want to wish her a happy birthday. And go by Bostic Florist there on Main Street and get you Easter flowers. She has Easter lilies and palm trees. So check Bostic Florist out. And everyone be careful this afternoon with the rain coming in.
Yep, it's going to come in pretty heavy, I understand.
I understand that too, so everyone needs to be very careful.
You be safe and have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the Burn Upton reporting out of Bostic. Coming up this morning at 8:30, I have a special guest, Chief Eric Shelton of Spindale Police. Lou will be interviewing him about a thing that's going on over there. We schedule, of course, to have our political candidates, and today was Julia Hartsock's day, and she did call in and say she had a prior commitment and could not come today. I appreciate her doing that. Some folks just ignore it altogether. But she did call and say, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. So we're filling in her spot with Chief Eric Shelton today from Spindale. So be sure to tune in for that. And we'll resume on Thursday with Alan Toney, scheduled to be here at 8:30. He has verified that he will be here. So we'll continue with that process of letting you know who the candidates are. And let's go over to Hudlow Fire District. Bob, how you doing?
We're doing just fine on this chair, sunny Tuesday morning.
You woke up feeling good this morning?
Yeah, doing pretty good this morning.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Look like we're going to have a pretty nice day early, but look like we're going to have some storms moving in later on today and the night, so...
Yeah, it sounds like it in the upstate South Carolina should be getting a big load of that as well if we're close to that area, so we might get a remnants of some of that.
Yeah, some of them thunderstorms move through there later on tonight there, so. But maybe it won't be too bad. And Jim, up there with the fire department, it's been pretty quiet. We answered one vehicle fire call, and then I had a call to check out a smoke report. I want to say happy birthday to Jim Carpenter this morning. And that's about it up here this morning. And maybe we'll have a part of a nice day up here. And I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, we can enjoy the mornings while it's dry. It'll be wet this afternoon, but it's going to clear off again for tomorrow. So it should be a pretty good week.
Yeah, if you need to do it, you can get out and do it this morning, I guess.
That's right. Bob, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
You too now.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
And here's Sue Price reporting from the Cherry Mountain Fire District now. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
Everything well with you?
Everything's well.
Good.
Got a pretty morning, looks like. Looking for some rain then, so we just take what comes.
We do indeed.
Well, let's see. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got an anniversary for DeMeyer and Emily Forstinger, so I hope they'll have a good day today. And on Fairview's calendar, they've got a birthday for Nehemiah Smith, and of course they've got DeMeyer and Emily on their calendar for an anniversary. And for Sprode, let's see, they've got birthdays for Jessica Van Dyke and Kendall Smith. So hope those folks will have a good day. And we hope anybody's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, on April the 9th, they're going to be having an Easter egg hunt at First Broad, and then that'll be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., so come on out for that. Golden Valley Community Club is going to be sponsoring a blood drive Monday, April the 11th from 3 to 7:30 p.m. And donors will receive a $20 e-gift card, a tumbler with a straw, and a wellness checkup. So good deal there. They encourage you to have an appointment, but you can just drop by and they'll work you in as soon as possible, and just hope we have a good turnout for that. And so far, that's the only announcement I have, Jim. It's quiet and calm right now, and we're looking for a good day, whatever comes, and hope you'll have one.
Thank you. We'll embrace whatever happens today, won't we?
That's right.
Well, you enjoy your day, and I will see you back here tomorrow.
All right, Jim. Bye-bye.
Sue Price reporting from the Cherry Mountain Fire District. It's 7:34. Well, the Braves are kicking off their season on Thursday. Braves and the Reds, Thursday evening. I thought they normally had like a Wednesday day game for their first game, but maybe they changed it around. But anyway, Braves and the Reds this evening, or Thursday evening, 6:50 airtime, 8 o'clock first pitch. Then they with the Reds for a 4-game stretch there. And the home game, the first one is a home game on Friday, and a home game on Saturday. And then they have a home game on Sunday. So the Braves are off and running, and we have already received those pocket schedules for the Braves that you'd like to get. They're here. They came in yesterday's mail. We have them out here, so if you'd like to have one or more, please come by and ask for them. We'll be glad to give those to you free of charge, no obligation at all. Just support the Braves right here on WCAB in Rutherford. We're making our next phone call in just a moment. We're trying to reach the good folks over at the Drop-In Family Mart. While we're doing that, we'll do this.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM is your station of contact for the election returns. After the polls close on Election Day, we'll be here to broadcast those returns to you. Now, a lot of people running, and it's basically a Republican primary, locally anyway. One Democrat, I think, running for sheriff. And we'll have all that results for you. Trying to get all the interviews in that we could possibly get in up to a point. We didn't have enough room to go on up the scale with the judges and the DAs and all that. But we do have county commissioners. We have clerk of court, sheriff, and school boards. We have some of those, and we've invited them all to be a part. And we have one schedule again for Thursday. As I mentioned a moment ago, Julie Hartsock from Lake Lure running in the primary against Alan Toney had other commitments for today and could not be with us. But we have Eric Shelton, who is the chief at Spindale, for an interview with Lou Gillum this morning at 8:30. So be sure to hang around for that. Couldn't reach anyone there. It's a drop-in Family Mart. They're too busy to talk with us this morning, but they're cooking breakfast up just right for you and your family and your associates to enjoy a good, hot, fresh breakfast from the drop-in Family Mart. And I know if you go by there and get in line, they'll have it ready for you. All right, let's go up to Shingle Hollow. And Tina White, how you doing this morning?
I am doing fine and dandy.
Fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Well,
or fine as frog hair split 4 ways.
I hear that once in a while. I don't know what that means, but I've heard that.
It's got to be real fine.
Must be.
Well, it is 41 degrees up here in Shingle Hollow this morning. Sun is bright and beautiful. Better enjoy it this morning because it sounds like we're going to have some rain and thunderstorms later today, possibly. Birthday calendar, there is none on any of the church calendars or anniversaries today, but on my personal calendar I have Jeremiah McClooney. I hope he has a great birthday. If you know Mr. McClooney, just let him know to happy birthday. And of course this weekend up here it's going to be real busy. White House Community Clubhouse at 10 a.m. to 12 till 12. They're having an Easter egg hunt with pictures with the Easter Bunny. Everyone's invited to that. And I was reminded yesterday to tell everybody, bring your children and your grandchildren, nieces, nephews, because they would like a big crowd out for this Easter egg hunt. And again, that's at White House Community Clubhouse this Saturday the 9th from 10 to 12. And then Pleasant Grove Baptist Church also said that they are having an egg dyeing station this Saturday. It's going to be from 1 to 3, all children and adults invited, and they're going to have an egg hunt and a visit from the Easter Bunny. There will also be snacks and much more. So there's lots to do here in the community this Saturday because that afternoon, or evening, whichever you want to call it, Piney Knob Baptist Church is having a wild game supper. 5 o'clock, come on out. There will be door prizes. There will be 2 youth 22 rifles that are going to be given, one to a girl and one to a boy. 2 door prizes that are the $50 gift cards for Mason Jar, $50 gift card for Green Hill Store, and a blacksmith-made candle holder and cake for door prizes. And I received a message yesterday to be sure and tell people about the Easter drama that is happening Sunday, the 10th, at 6 p.m. Oh, they've worked hard. They've practiced hard. It's going to be an excellent Easter drama this Sunday, April 10th, 6 p.m. So everyone's invited to come on out and enjoy that.
Where's that going to be?
At Piney Knob Baptist Church.
Okay.
And, this morning I also want to give a shout out to any law enforcement that's listening. I went through a license check yesterday evening after coming back from gymnastics with my daughter. And I am so thankful for their presence in our community and all that they do to keep us safe. I just really appreciate them, and I thank them for doing that.
Well, thank you for that. We don't do that enough. They deserve accolades every day.
Yes, they put their life on the line for our safety, and I just appreciate them. And it's going to be a wonderful day. When did you say the Braves are going? When are you going to air that game?
They start Thursday at 6:50 airtime and 8 o'clock first pitch against the Reds.
I'm excited.
All right.
I'll be listening.
You have a wonderful day.
You too. Everybody stay safe out there, and God bless you.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
And we're going upstate Union Mills to get the report from Brenda Kelly this morning, see what's happening up on the hill. .41 degrees outside, and we're going to have sunny skies this morning and then turning cloudy with some rain possibilities. Here now is Brenda Kelly from Union Mills with the Kelly Report. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this terrific Tuesday morning?
Are you happy or sad this morning?
Well, I'm sad that they didn't win, but I'm happy because they gave their all. They played good all year long, and they did go to the finals, and they only lost by 1 3-point basket.
Yeah, that's something. Well, they hustled though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and you got to remember that Baycott was playing with an injured ankle, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with the way he played. So
it was a good showing for the first-year coach.
Oh yeah, it really was, and at least we made it to the finals, and Kansas won there in the last few seconds. But I watched the first half, but I wasn't feeling too good. I've had a little bit of a scratchy throat, and I said, "Oh, I just can't make it," so I went to bed. But as soon as I got up at 4:30 this morning, I turned on the TV, and then they said, "Oh, we're sorry that UNC didn't win," and I said, "Oh well."
Well, if you hadn't gone to bed, they might have won that thing.
Well, they might have. I don't know. but I just wasn't feeling good, so I went to bed. But I did enjoy the first half, and hats off to them. They've got nothing to be ashamed about.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, they're my team. If they don't ever win
if you
again,
get that far in the NCAA, you've done well anyway.
That's exactly right. Well, let's see. I've got 38 degrees on the front porch this morning. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries, but in ways of announcements, Saturday, April the 30th, springtime in the mills, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is around the walking trail area behind the main building, and it's 60-plus vendors, no admission for shoppers. Tickets available for purchase for raffle prizes. Shop with small business and support local vendors, and this is at the Union Mills Learning Center. It'll be down on the walking trail. And so far, that's all I know of going on. It's just short, sweet, and quiet, and I'm tired.
Well, you go lay down a while.
I might do that here in just a little while.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one. Catch you later.
All right, bye-bye. And we'll check Ellenboro out for news in just a moment. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. And here's the Ellenboro reporter, Mr. Luther Gilligan, on the air with me right now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jew. Hope you're having a good day.
My day's off to a great start. Yours?
Hey, my start's a marvelous start. We're going to have a good time today.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, we're sitting there crying in our coffee. Carolina lost last night.
Well. Cheer up. There's another season coming. I got Brave season coming up now.
Yeah.
They're the world champions, too, you know.
That's right. We look at him. We see what happens. Pretty quiet down here this morning. I had a quiet day yesterday. Wasn't a whole lot happening. Fire department had one medical call down. That was the biggest thing they had. And nothing else is going up down here. So you have a good day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Luther. Thank you. You have a good one now.
Right. Take care now.
All right. Bye-bye. And that's Luther Gilligan reporting. It's time now for birthdays and anniversaries, and we want to call yours in to us now at 287-3356. 287-3356. We'll celebrate your birthday or your anniversary right here coming up here in just a few moments. Meanwhile, think about breakfast. If they're back open, Grady B's closed on Mondays, open Tuesday through Saturdays. Start serving breakfast as early as 6:30 in the morning. So if you like a good hot cooked breakfast the way you prepare it, be sure to go by and have a breakfast this morning. You can eat it there inside or take it with you to work. Either way, they'll fix that up for you. And be sure you leave a little room for those delicious daylight donuts. They make those fresh every day as well. A lot of folks are taking them out by the bagfuls, and you would like them too if you ever have one. That's the delicious daylight donuts from Grady B's. They're in Spindale.
Happy birthday.
Wish a happy birthday to Matthew Allen. He's 42. He lives in Rutherfordton, celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday, Matthew Allen. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to Julie Walker of Spindale. Julie's 44 today. And Stephen Crowder of Oakland Community is 52. Other birthdays today include Booker T. Washington. He was born in 1856. Spencer Tracy was born in 1900. And then Betty Davis, 1908 was her birthday. She died. All these folks have died. And then Gregory Peck, he was born in 1916, died in 2003. Colin Powell, Secretary of State, 1937, just died recently, 2021. Other events, 1767, First U.S. Chamber of Commerce was formed. 1792, George Washington cast the first presidential veto. 1806, apple cider is patented. 1923, Firestone begins producing its inflatable tires. 1949, Fireside Theater debut on U.S. television. I remember those. 1997, I guess. It's a Crocodile Hunter debut. It's National Library Workers Day. Happy birthday or happy work day to library workers. National Employee Benefits Day, Gold Star Spouses Day, National Caramel Day or Caramel Day, and National Nebraska Day. So now you're up to date on this date in history right here on WCAB Rutherfordton. Keys to Competent Living coming up, and Andrew Tisdale, top of the hour, My Great America with Jim Butch, 9:05 this morning.
Have you people start straw-fin blues out? Maybe we're a smashing success in the beginning in the business world. But as time went on, they lost their In East Texas, there is an electric generating station that produces power for thousands of people throughout the southwest United States. Lignite coal is pulverized and superheated and blown into huge furnaces where it explodes like gasoline when ignited. The huge furnaces turn 3 giant turbines housed in concrete and steel casings that are 100 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 10 feet across. The turbines whirl at 3,600 revolutions per minute. A visitor to the plant one day asked an engineer where the electricity was stored. "It is not stored," he replied. "It is produced as it is needed." When a person turns on a light switch in Dallas, the meters at the plant detect that more power is needed and more is generated. The way God supplies our power is similar to that of the generating plant. As we need more power, it is made available to us. There are no huge storage batteries built into us, nor a great power grid somewhere in the heavens that has unlimited supplies of God's resources. We receive the strength and power as it is needed. The Bible makes it clear that our strength will be equal to our days. Don't worry about having enough strength to make it through today, and for sure, don't worry about tomorrow. Ask God to give you what you need right now. Start drawing on the strength that is already available, and more will be given as needed. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Stay in touch with your tax dollars. Listen to the Commish Report and the School Board Report each month live here on WCAB. The reports are heard the following morning after the meetings. WCAB, keeping you informed as well as entertained.
This is Gilbert. I'm back on the air every Saturday from 8 to 9. So put on a pot of coffee, sit down, and listen to Gilbert Talks Taxes. You just might learn something.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stair and all my cares just drift right into space. On the roof it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below can bother me. Let me tell you now, when I come home feeling tired and weak, I go up where the air is fresh and sweet. On the roof, I get away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise down in the street. On the roof, the only place I know where you just have to wish to make it so. Let's go up on the roof. Up on the roof. At night the stars put on a show for free, and darling, you can share it all with me. I keep a telling you, right smack dab in the middle of town, I found a paradise that's trouble-proof. On the roof. And if this world starts getting you down, there's room enough for two up on the roof. Up on the roof. Up on the roof. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, come on, honey. Up on the roof. Everything is all right. Sometimes we walk hand in hand by the sea, and we breathe in the cool, salty air. You turn to me with a kiss in your eyes, and my heart feels a thrill beyond compare. Then your lips cling to mine. It's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. Sometimes we stand on the top of a hill, and we gaze at the earth and the sky. I turn to you, and you melt in my arms. There we are, darling, only you and I. What a moment to share. It's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. This world is full of wondrous things, it's true, but they wouldn't have much meaning without you. Some quiet evening I sat by your side, and we're lost in a world of our own. I feel the glow of your unspoken love. I'm aware of the treasures that I own, and I say to myself, it's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. And I say to myself, it's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. The music's on us. WCAB. WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The UN Agency on Migration now says more than 11 million people have fled their homes in Ukraine since the war began. 4 million have left the country. Another 7 million are still there, but not in their homes. The news coming as Ukrainian President Zelensky prepares to address the UN Security Council this morning on atrocities outside Kyiv. ABC's James Longman is there.
This whole road is just strewn with burnt-out cars. When you get into town, it just gets so much worse. We've been speaking to people here, Ukrainians who are hunkered down in their buildings, hiding in their basements, as Russians were living in their buildings. Russia has says the crimes that we've seen here were staged. They were not. We have seen them.
Because of that, the Biden administration is also set to announce new sanctions later today. ABC's Mary Bruce is at the White House.
What these sanctions will look like remains unclear. The U.S. has already imposed severe sanctions on Russia, but they do still have some options available. They could go after countries that continue to do business with Russia or impose new limits on Russia's largest banks. They could also try and target additional Russian industries like mining. But the most extreme action here would be if European countries were to cut off Russian oil and gas.
Republicans Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney, and Susan Collins all planning to vote to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the U.S. Supreme Court when the vote is held. Historic comeback at the NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship last night. ABC's Jim Ryan was there.
After the first 20 minutes, it looked as though 8-seed North Carolina would buck the odds and take down the number 1 seed Kansas. No team had ever overcome the 15-point lead that the Heels had at halftime. But Coach Bill Self and his Jayhawks did just that.
To win when your team had to fight and come back the way they did makes this one off the charts.
Self has now been at the helm for 2 of the Jayhawks' 4 championship victories. Jim Ryan, ABC News, New Orleans.
30 million Americans from Dallas up through the Atlantic seaboard in line for some rough weather, wind, rain, maybe even tornadoes today. You're listening to ABC News.
Ew, Dad, why are toenails so ugly and yellow?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus. And you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-764-9219. That's 800-764-9219. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-764-9219, or visit crystalflush.com.
Another day of deliberations today in the trial of 4 men accused of scheming to kidnap Michigan's governor. They allegedly were upset over COVID restrictions. No clues yet on what the jury may be thinking. The only request yesterday was for the judge to define the word weapon. Beginning today in Connecticut, a murder trial with evidence from a Fitbit at the center. Richard DeBate is accused of killing his wife, Connie, just before Christmas in 2015. At the time, he said someone broke in, killed her, and tortured him. But police say evidence from her Fitbit contradicts that timeline that he gave about her death. Questions are continuing to swirl around what Elon Musk might do next after buying more than 73 million shares of Twitter, making him the biggest single shareholder. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Analysts believe Musk may want to force change at Twitter. He recently raised questions about free speech on the platform, tweeting last month, "Given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done?" He also previously tweeted he was giving serious thought to creating an all-new social media platform. Experts say his next step could be getting a seat on Twitter's board of directors.
And it may be the most exclusive place to hold a wedding reception, the White House. President Biden and the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, now saying they will host the reception for the wedding of their granddaughter, Naomi. She's getting married in November. This is ABC News.
If you have a small business, let Staples be your shipping partner.
I'm generating orders 24/7. I don't have time to ship them too.
Staples has it covered.
A one-stop shipping solution for a business that works nonstop.
Padded mailers in every size and color?
Staples has your shipping covered with packing and shipping supplies and services. Now get 15% off UPS Ground and 20% off UPS Express shipping services. If you need to ship at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 4/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/services/shipping for details.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Make sure you have the rain gear as you leave the house today. We have showers in our forecast later today. Thunderstorms are possible as well. Cloudy skies with a high in the upper 60s to low 70s. Tonight, it's early showers and storms, otherwise cloudy and mild, the low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, it's back to sunshine, although it will be warm sunshine. The highs could reach the lower 80s, partly to mostly sunny. Another chance for some showers and storms on Thursday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
We are waking up to a beautiful morning, although it's going to change this afternoon. And some folks think when it rains, it's beautiful, but we can just make whatever we want to out of it. Right now, it's 41 degrees. Hey, listen, Andrew Tisdale coming up here in just a few moments. Let me remind you of a big estate sale starting April 7th, 8th, and 9th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. Furniture, washer and dryer, glassware, gas stove, collectibles, lots of vintage items, pie safe, wash stand, odds and end chairs, and a whole lot of things. Big estate sale starts 8 a.m. until each day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, April 7th, 8th, and 9th. That is coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. 2461 Darlington Road, Rutherfordton. Mark it down. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Big estate sale. Don't want to miss it. Now we'll get to Andrew Tisdale, his words of wisdom, in just a moment.
How hot is the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery? Well, with the top prize of $700,000 and a bonus game on the back, people everywhere are hot to trot, in hot pursuit, and hot on the trail of these little hotcakes. So get out of your hot tub, put on your hot pants, and hot rod on over to strike while the iron is hot and pick up the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-offs before someone else starts their hot streak and you find yourself left out in the cold. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.65. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Now it's Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning's dedicated in the Blue Room to Andrew Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones. And he's here right now with us, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Andrew Tisdale, welcome.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. And I want to say that your dedication is much appreciated.
We're always happy to have you. Always come in cheerful and happy with a positive attitude and good words of wisdom.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just glad to get up and be in the Blue Room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every Tuesday.
Any day we can get upgrade, right?
That is right. Yeah. That is right.
What's got on your mind today?
So think about this. If you ever go and sit down with a financial advisor or anyone that's working with your investments, they're going to ask you your risk tolerance. What is that? Risk is a word that's used that sometimes can have some negative connotations with it. So how can you think about when they talk about risk? When you invest your money, what kind of risk am I taking? Here's a good way to look at it. Look at it more like comfort level. Am I willing to experience better growth with more volatility, or am I more willing to take a more less volatile approach to have a much more smoother ride? If I am understanding with the fact that kind of we've experienced this here at the beginning of this year, that the volatility is going to happen, but over long term I can experience better growth, you may reach your goals faster. However, that may not be you, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer in that. I would rather decrease the volatility and take a much smoother ride. It just may take me longer to get to where I want to go. Is there anything wrong with that? No, not at all. You still have a good solid path on which way you want to go, and you're going to follow the way that's best for you. And it goes with several different types of financial goals, whether it's retirement, whether it's saving up for a large purchase, whether it's college education, whether it's just providing legacy for your future generations. Think about it. What is my comfort level when I sit in there? One of the analogies that I like to use when I work with my clients is talks about the ocean. There is a lot bigger waves in Hawaii. There's a lot higher waves, ups and downs. If I want to go that route with my investments, I will experience a larger, greater return, but I'm going to have a lot more opportunities to get seasick. If I want a smoother approach, I'm going to go to the Gulf of Mexico. Will I still make my goal? Yes, it just may take longer, and I don't experience as much more seasickness. Or I can go right in the middle, and I can go to Myrtle Beach, and I can still have some waves, and I'll still get there. It just may may take me a little bit longer than it would if I go to Hawaii. When you're hearing these words and you hear it's on the media and you sit down with people and you talk to them and you hear that word risk tolerance, another way to think about it is, what is my comfort level? What is your comfort level?
Good words of wisdom from Andrew Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones, always making sense of investing. You'll find him over on Charlotte Road up on the hill there, where they're moving all those trees behind you, right?
They're moving all those trees, and today I'm moving some more furniture in.
Are you?
I am. Come by and see it.
All right. Looks good over there. Anyway, we got a nice location for everybody to see when they go by.
And I think my sign will be here around July. Yeah. Supply chains.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to run with a sign or without a sign.
There you go. Yep. Phone number is 287-9197. That's 828-287-9197. If you have any financial questions or you got a few dollars you want to put aside, talk with Andrew Tisdale. He's a man to do at edwardjones.com.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great week.
Y'all too.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. And Cavs and Hilltoppers.
And everybody, right? We'll be back in just a moment with some news from here. That remind you also that coming up at 8:30 this morning, an interview Lou did with Chief Eric Shelton of the Spindale Police Department. He's the chief over there. We normally would have this set aside for a political interview with the lady running for county commissioner, Julie Hartzog. She was kind enough to call in and say she already had a previous engagement for this date and could not come, and she was kind enough to let us know that. So we had that availability of time, so we pulled Eric Shelton in, and Lou will talk with him about some things happening in the world of the policing. We'll have all that straight ahead.
Enjoy a taste of the Orient from the delicious buffet at the Dragon Palace Chinese Restaurant. You can enjoy all your favorite dishes plus a whole lot more. Friendly service and professional staff ready to make your dining experience a truly great one. Open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 until 9, closed on Mondays. They do have party rooms available if you have an upcoming event. Call the Dragon Palace at 287-5707. The Dragon Palace, 115 Ryan Drive in Forest City.
Let me introduce you to Brock Family Care, a direct primary care practice that takes care of the patients and not the insurance company. Providing flat rate pricing and not accepting any forms of health insurance allows for more personalized and affordable health care. Ann Brock has over 42 years of healthcare experience and 22 years as a nurse practitioner. She and her staff are dedicated to providing health care that is patient-centered and not insurance company dictated. They give the patient the time and the attention they need. What are your medical needs? Bring them to Brock Family Care and see the difference. And also offers telehealth appointments. The professional staff are dedicated and will take the time to find out how they can help you. To learn more about this wonderful medical service, go to the website at www.brockfamilycare.com. That's Brock Family Care, 289 Shallow Road, Forest City.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
And Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or Saturdays by appointment only. Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recalled devices, call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And they also have a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras half off. Come in and see us at the Home Medical Equipment Department at Smith's Drugs at 138 West Main Street in Forest City. Or again, call 245-4591.
Some news from here and there this morning. A Mooresboro teenager and a 76-year-old man were killed in a Friday night head-on collision, according to the Shelby Star. The incident happened at 11:43 on US 74 in Mooresboro, near where the US Highway 74 bypass is being constructed. According to the North Carolina Highway Patrol, Robert Ward, 76, of Morganton, was driving alone in a Ford Crown Victoria traveling east in the westbound lane when he hit a Hyundai driven by Autumn Johnson, 19, according to the Shelby newspaper report. Both Ward and Johnson died upon contact, the investigation trooper told the Star. A third driver struck the back of Johnson's car, but she only suffered minor injuries. Dozens of residents gathered on the courthouse lawn in downtown Rutherford on Saturday morning. They walked down Main Street to Kiwanis Park to remember the marches led by civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King. According to an article in the Courier written by Scott Carpenter, the event had been postponed twice because of inclement weather, but Saturday was warm and sunny. Rutherford Mayor Jimmy Dancy, as well as several town council members, attended, including newest council member Doris Crute, who helped organize the event as part of Martin Luther King Committee of New Hope. Dancy read an official proclamation from town council commemorating the event and told the group, "Today you are making a statement by being here. Thank you all for being here." The Reverend Robert Hamilton was also among the featured speakers and spoke on the importance of voting. "Voting is something we all need to do," he said, "because elections do matter. I encourage you to get registered if you haven't already and vote. Be willing to take the time and let your voices be heard." R.J. Aiken also addressed the group and reminded them of King's advice to have a plan, have a blueprint for your life. "We must have a self-awareness, a high standard of who we are," Aiken said, "and we must have a determination to achieve greatness in whatever tasks are before us." Live music was performed at the park from Ruffton Acoustics Jam and the Martin Luther King Community Choir. Crew described the event as a celebration of the life and legacy of Martin Luther King. Meanwhile, Golden Valley was the home of dozens of interested citizens packed into Golden Valley Community Clubhouse Saturday afternoon for what has become a regular event, a candidate forum for the upcoming primary election. According to Scott Carpenter's article in the Daily Courier, Many who weren't able to be seated inside the building lingered outside in the parking lot and on the building's front porch. Representatives from all local races participated in the forum, which was moderated by Ron Gurley. District Attorney Ted Bell and challenger Corinne Evans were the first candidates to speak. They offered comments and fielded several questions posed by Gurley. Bell said, "I'm humbled and privileged to serve the people of the district." He spoke of connecting people who struggle with drug addiction to get the help they need, while at the same time coming down hard on drug dealers as well as sex offenders. In Evans' opening comments, he conceded that he supported Bell when he first ran for district attorney. Now, 8 years later, they were promises that are unfulfilled, Evans said. Both were asked by the moderator if they would prosecute all cases regardless of the political environment and social winds of the day. "Yes, and in a timely manner," Evans said. "I will prosecute cases as efficiently and fairly as possible, and that is not happening right now," he said. Bell said, "Yes, if there is a crime and we have enough evidence." He also pointed out that delays or continuances, while unfortunate, are often necessary for a variety of reasons. Asked specifically about prosecuting of drug offenses, Bell again emphasized how the DA's office prioritizes being hard on drug dealers. He again spoke of the coordination with other agencies to connect those who are drug addicted to the services that they need. When Evans complained that the county no longer has a drug court with which he was involved, Bell said the local drug court proved to be ineffective and was terminated by the state. The moderator asked, "What will they do if elected?" "I will do work of the state. I will want to see the victims of crime in this county treated with fairness and with respect," Evans said. "I will be a working DA, and that is something we have not had in a long time," he said. Bell responded, "We will continue doing what we can to help the victims." He added that he is proud of his close working relationship with local law enforcement, and he noted there is work being done on a new reentry program that will help those exiting incarceration reestablish their lives and not return to criminal behavior. In the county commissioner's race, all Republicans, Julie Hartzog is challenging incumbent Alan Toney, and Jason Toney, no relation, is challenging incumbent Michael Benfield. Hartzog said she was asked to run multiple times and wants to give back. Alan Toney said, "I want our county to be the best it can be and the best in the state. That's what I'm working toward." The commissioner's candidates touched on several topics, including the COVID relief money that Rutherford County has received, known as ARPA, America Rescue Plan Act funds. Hartzog said, "I will have to learn as I go," and mentioned more support for the veteran services. Jason Toney mentioned support for fire departments and law enforcement. Benfield and Alan Toney, the incumbent commissioners, explained that the county has solicited requests from various nonprofit groups and county agencies for ways to spend the extra money. The requests far outweigh the available money and range from support from drug addiction services to help for the homeless. They also noted that along with the money came binders full of regulations governing how the money can be used. Benfield said the funds will be spent correctly and legally in ways to help Rutherford County. Alan Toney also mentioned that the county will get additional funding from the federal opioid litigation settlement to tackle problems associated with opioid addiction. Board of Education candidates were also on hand meeting citizens at the forum. They responded to questions on topics ranging from so-called critical race theory, which all said they are against, to whether or not educators should be allowed to use the pronouns he or she relating to gender. All agreed there should be no prohibition against using personal pronouns. The Board of Education candidates all encouraged the community to get involved with the education of their children. And that's all the happenings of the reporter that was there. The sheriff's candidates were also there, but nothing was reported in this article. Meanwhile, a local nonprofit organization will be sponsoring a bipartisan community forum Thursday, April 7th at Isothermal Community College. Reaching ROCO is spearheading the forum with the objective to address what is deemed the most critical issues in Rutherford County. A committee comprised of young bipartisan voters will collectively engage this year's candidates for county commissioner, district attorney, clerk of court, board of education, and the race for sheriff. In May 2021, Reaching ROCO became the rebranding identity for Reaching Rutherford, initially incorporated as X Horizons LLC. Reaching ROCO has a focused mantra to engage youth, young adults, and those that guide them. XO Horizons is a legally registered limited liability corporation operating under the assumed business name of Reaching ROCO in the state of North Carolina. It seeks to empower and cultivate positive change in the upcoming generation. Reach in Rutherford started out as a social justice initiative under the umbrella of Blue Ridge Hope. Thursday's forum starts at 6 o'clock with the doors opening at 5:30. The event will be held at Isotherma Community College Library Auditorium in Spindale. The Sheriff's Report coming up with Sheriff Chris Francis in just a moment. I know many of you enjoy yard sale shopping. Many of you love yard sales, and I know a bunch of you enjoy Anchor Down because it's like an indoor yard sale, except much of the merchandise is new. And listen to this: clothes and shoes, 50 cents, pocketbooks at $2. Anchor Down carries small kitchen appliances, electronics, furniture. Most things are $5 or less, with the exception of antiques and furniture. There are deals all over the store. They get a new load every week, and sure, you may have to step over an item to get to another, but that's part of the fun of browse shopping. Anchor Down is located at 155 West Main Street, downtown Forest City, across from Carolina Chiropractic. Anchor Down is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. until 3 o'clock. Come see for yourself how much fun that kind of shopping can be. Now here's Sheriff Chris Francis with our report from this morning.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 184 calls of service. There have been 22 arrests at the county jail, and we have 169 in custody. Among those arrested, Darby Von Angel, 67-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear, and received a $750 secure bond. Christopher Michael Mitchell, 36-year-old male of Ellenborough, was charged with larceny. This was a Polk County case that he was served that warrant on. Dodie Michelle Towery, 49-year-old female of Boston, was charged with larceny and received a written promise to appear. Anthony Jesus Luciero, 41-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Angelica Dawn Peeler, 29-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. David Gene Luckadoo, 52-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with communicating threats and see a district court judge for bond. Addie Marie Elizabeth Browning, 20-year-old female of Ruston, was charged with 8 counts of failure to appear and received a $24,000 secure bond. Samantha Marie Chassie, 41-year-old female of Boston, was charged with 2 counts of a, looks like, true bill of indictment. And then we had Keenan Gerard Ramsey, 30-year-old male of Forest City, charged with failure to appear, failure to comply, and received a $500 cash bond. Jonathan David Pritchard, 35-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply and received a $658 cash bond. Jason Daniel Korn, 37-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with possession of meth, possession of marijuana, 2 counts of resist drug delay, received a also had a parole hold with no bond, and received a $10,000 unsecured bond with the other charges. John Michael Watson, 35-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 bond. And Alva Rashawn Hunt, 30-year-old male of Boston, was charged on a habitual felon true bill and received an unsecured bond. We had, as far as instance in obtaining property by false pretense on Pilgrim Road in Ellenborough, someone made withdrawals from the victim's account without authorization in the amount of $3,045 total, and those were from Apple Pay, but were not authorized. We had an ID theft on Poors Ford Road in Ruston. Looks like someone had received information to their credit, had a bad reading because it was an unpaid bill in New York State, a medical bill that the victim was not responsible for. And we had a B&E in Larceny, Maryland Drive in Forest City, where the victim said that someone had came in and taken $100 out of a wallet inside the house. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
For the 4th time in school history, our national champions. Steve Futterman, CBS News, at the national championship game in New Orleans.
And the second half shift was largely due to Carolina shooting just 27% after halftime. Caleb Love was deflated afterward.
It hurt for us to get this far and come up short like this, everything we went through. But, the positive thing is I wouldn't want to go through this with anybody else.
Today, meanwhile, marks 1 year to the day that Carolina named Hubert Davis as the next head coach of the basketball program to succeed Roy Williams. Meanwhile, John Shire is now officially the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils basketball team after Mike Krzyzewski's retirement. One of his first duties will be filling out his support staff, as Duke assistant coach Nolan Smith announced he is leaving to take the associate head coaching job with Louisville. Also in men's college basketball, Syracuse forward Cole Swider has announced he will enter the NBA draft. He will sign with an agreement and not return to the Orange. Swider started all 33 games for Syracuse this season and was second on the team with 13.9 points per game. This is NCN Sports.
Agriculture drives our local economy. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University, and we are looking for our next generation of innovative leaders. Our graduates are part of the global economy, and we provide hands-on training in our exceptional facilities, including our animal units and greenhouses. Earn a 2-year degree and receive networking opportunities to help you land a rewarding career. Enroll by June 1st. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities. Learn more at cals.ncsu.edu/AGI.
April is Fair Housing Month, and North Carolina's 56,000 realtors proudly honor our commitment to ensure everyone gets a fair chance in today's housing market. From the country crossroads to urban centers, realtors across North Carolina are working to open doors to anyone who is striving to attain the American dream of owning their own home. We believe fairness is worth fighting for because that's who we are. Paid for by North Carolina Realtors.
Washington Commanders are refuting a report that they allegedly withheld ticket revenue from visiting teams. A team spokesperson said in a statement there was absolutely no withholding of ticket revenue at any time, and added that anyone who testified to Congress suggesting that committed perjury. A lawyer for the former Washington VP of Sales and Customer Service said her client testified truthfully and accused the NFL club of defamation. Front Office Sports cited sources reporting to the House Oversight Committee that it received information to indicate Washington withheld the revenue. The league pools 40% of all ticket revenue for the road team. Congress began investigating the team earlier this year after the league did not release a written report of an investigation into sexual harassment within the organization. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Make sure you have the rain gear as you leave the house today. We have showers in our forecast later today. Thunderstorms are possible as well. Cloudy skies with a high in the upper 60s to low 70s. Tonight, it's early showers and storms, otherwise cloudy and mild, the low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, it's back to sunshine, although it will be warm sunshine. The highs could reach the lower 80s, partly to mostly sunny. Another chance for some showers and storms on Thursday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Not a bad morning to wake up to out there. It's 43 degrees currently. Started out at 41. We're climbing up the scale until about 67 for a daytime high. But then this afternoon, it all breaks loose with rain and isolated thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight. But then tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs around 79, almost 80 tomorrow. Won't be a summer-like day tomorrow, won't it? With wind gusting to 16 miles per hour. And then tomorrow night, more scattered showers. About 30%, and scattered showers on Thursday, about 50%, and then clearing out of here again for Friday and Saturday. Another beautiful weekend in our neighborhood. Again, right now, 43 degrees, according to Peter, the meter reader. I have a special guest with Chief Eric Shelton and Lou Gillum in just a few moments, right after this.
Hi, my name's Jake Johnson, and I'm running for North Carolina House District 113. If elected to represent you in the legislature, I will continue fighting for the lives of the unborn, defending our Second Amendment rights, cutting taxes and regulation, securing our elections, and standing up for veterans and law enforcement. Remember to vote Jake Johnson for North Carolina House in this year's Republican primary. Thank you and God bless. Paid for by the committee to elect Jake Johnson.
Bicycle riding weather is here, so hit the trails with a bike from Open Box Bike Store. They've got just the bike for you. They carry children's and adult bicycles, scooters, mountain bikes, beach bikes, electric bikes, and tricycles. They also offer financing on anything over $250. Open Box also has bike rentals, $12 per day, $40 per day for an electric bike, or you can choose from a good conditioned used bike. Open Box is always cheaper than those big box stores, so check them out today. They're at 153 West Main Street in Spindale, or call 828-475-2223. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services has been a family business since 1953, offering care, dignity, honor, and unique opportunities for families to create healing moments after a loss. John McMahon and his fine staff bring experience, coupled with perspective, to help pay tribute in a traditional or unique way. Call 287-4715 or visit online today at McMahansFuneralHome.com. There, you can view current obituary information or pre-plan for yourself or a loved one. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services, offering healing to the community through burial and cremation services, grief support, whether it's a funeral or a memorial service. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services, 249 South Main Street in Rutherfordton, know the importance of ceremony and will guide you in honoring the life and memories of your loved one. Call McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services today at 287-4715.
As I mentioned earlier, we designated Tuesdays and Thursdays for time for the interviews with the candidates running for office in Rutherford County. And we sent a letter out to all of them recommending they come at a specific date and time. And Julie Hartzog, who's scheduled to be here today, she was kind enough to let us know that she would not be able to come because of a prior engagement she had already planned for on this date. So she is not with us today. But Alan Toney, who is her opponent, will be here on Thursday morning at 8:30 for his interview. In the place of Julie Hartzog's interview today, Lou Gillum landed Chief Eric Shelton from Spindale for a brief interview about some things in terms of law enforcement in the town of Spindale. So here is Lou Gillum.
Have you ever wanted to be a police officer but could not financially quit your job to take the classes needed for certification? Well, now the local police departments are offering you a chance to fulfill your dream of becoming an officer. And here to tell you how is Spindale Police Chief Eric Shelton. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Now, there's some new programs that are available for people who want to become a police officer, and there's another BLET class coming up very, very soon. So how can these folks be able to take these classes but not have to quit their day job?
We have just recently implemented a program through the town of Spindale to where we are hiring on candidates for basic law enforcement training. At Spindale, our program offers pay, benefits, and tuition even for the class to be taken. We are currently looking to send 2 to 3 students over to the local BLET here at Isothermal Community College.
You're saying pay. Will they be paid like on a 40-hour week, or will that advance where they can get benefits, or it just be being paid for a 40-hour week only?
Okay, with our specific program at Spindale, we're paying the 16-week program. They will be compensated for 40 hours a week while they're in that class. Our pay rate's going to be $15 an hour at Spindale. Other agencies, I'm sure, are doing the same thing. I've heard that the Sheriff's Office, the Town of Forest City, the Rutherford Police Department, other agencies in our area are looking to do the same program. The benefits and pay should be somewhere near the same, but I'm not sure what their pay will be at the other agencies.
Now, this is going to pay for just the tuition only, or what all is involved? What's going to be their out-of-pocket pay?
Their out-of-pocket pay from the town of Spindale will be nothing. We will be paying for the program there at ICC, which through a sponsorship, their tuition, their books, we'll be taking care of that. We'll also be paying them at an hourly rate as they're an employee. Their benefits will also start at the time we hire them, after the background process that they will go through with our agency.
Firearms, uniforms, other things they're going to need, badges?
Well, they won't get any of that until they complete the program. The program will take care of their firearms training for initial BLET certification, basic law enforcement training certification, and they won't need any other type of money for uniforms or anything other than their basic law enforcement training uniforms, which we will pay for those as well.
Now, I have heard that Isothermal's BLET class is the toughest, basically, in the surrounding counties. Is that true?
Most programs in our area are like-minded. There's physical training that's pretty strenuous, but it's state mandated. All the BLET courses are state mandated courses, so they have to go by specific guidelines and the text. Everything is the same. In other words, if you go to basic law enforcement training here at Isothermal, or you go to Western Piedmont, or you go to Blue Ridge, they're given the same program. It's just how it's delivered with their instructors. They do have a rigorous PT training here at our BLET program, and some top-notch instructors that make the program challenging. Yes, I would say that it's a challenging course, but they come out and they're ready to be an inexperienced, trained police officer.
After they do the BLET and after they're hired, what's the process next in training?
They'll go through a field training officer program, which is several phases of training that they'll get, hands-on, on-the-job training with a field training officer, which would be a supervisor or someone that's been trained through the Justice Academy to train police officers. That's where they'll learn our policies, procedures, or any agency's policies, procedures, just the way they do things at that municipality or sheriff's office. They'll learn the specific duties and functions of the job at their respective agency.
If somebody is really thinking of becoming a police officer, but there's still that little doubt in the back of their mind, what would you suggest for them to do to really make that decision and make sure it is the right decision for them?
Well, we at Spindale, and I know other agencies here in our area, offer a ride-along program, which is a great way for someone to kind of test the waters and see if it's something they think they may be interested in. We have our paperwork on our website. You can drop by our police department and get that paperwork to request a ride-along. We do 3 ride-alongs. You've got a certain amount of time to do those. You can't get out of the car, have to sign a waiver, those kind of things. But it puts you in a car with an officer riding around seeing just what we do every day.
Now, if somebody just wants to ride around, is that offered to just the general public also?
Sure. Anyone who comes by, we do a specific form. We do a background, just check, make sure there's nothing just very bad that we don't need them riding with us in a car. But we do just a limited background just to make sure that they're suitable to ride along with us. At that point, we do allow, like I said, 3 ride-alongs, up to 3 if they come once and don't want to ride again. That's understandable. But we allow up to 3, and be glad to have them come along, show them the ropes. They can see what we do on the computers, all the tasks that we perform on our shift.
Why do you think that in past times that the classes seem to be loaded, and now there is a downturn of people wanting to take the BLET or just be a police officer, period?
It's very easy if you turn on your television. People nowadays, police don't get the respect. We're often blamed for things that may not happen. We see seconds in videos instead of the entire videos. We are what I like to say, the street level bureaucrat. We are the only glance or interaction with government that most people have. So whatever's going on in national news with the presidency or any elected official on a national level, we seem to get the brunt of that because we are the government. So I think that along with the pay, recently private sector employment seems to be paying a lot more than it used to years ago. The job, I do say that police work's not going to go overseas. It's not going to leave us here in our local area. We're always going to have police. But still, that incentive is not enough if we're not paying our officers. We've got to have trained, highly educated officers. And, the lawsuits, they come. So we've got to be ready to combat that. So that's a lot of the reasons I think that, we're not having the draw to law enforcement that we once had.
Now, I know in years past that the physical therapy part, even I remember Junior Johnson in past times talking about the highway patrol, you had to be a certain height, certain weight, you had to maintain your weight. Is that an issue any longer?
No, not so much as, there is physical fitness and things that we have to do to stay ready for the job. But anyone can be a police officer. There are different locales, different areas that we can work in. If someone is not the best, runner, they may be a crime scene tech. We can use them in other areas. So just getting through that program at BLET, I think there is a 1.5 mile run I believe they have to do. There's a short POPAT or physical police officers physical agilities test, I believe is what that stands for. But they have to do that to pass the program. But outside of that, we run, we jump, we chase people, things like that. But there are other areas. If someone makes it through basic law enforcement training and they're not a basketball player, we're still good and we can still use those individuals.
In past times, there was the driving test they had to do. They had to do the firearms test. Is that still a part of it?
Yes, those are topics covered in BLET, law enforcement driver training. It's a rigorous training, hands-on, driving the patrol vehicle in pursuit. There's 7 courses that they have to establish proficiency at. They're trained through those here at isothermal or any basic law enforcement training. Firearms, they go several weekends and do on-the-range firearms training with certified instructors, and have to establish proficiency in the use of a firearm, the mechanics of a firearm, and such. They will learn all that in BLET as well.
Kind of seen a downfall in women taking the BLET. Used to be there were a lot of women taking the classes. Do you have any idea of what may have caused a downfall in that?
I don't. In my years of teaching, there have been several women candidates that have made really, really good law enforcement officers, and we're open to that. We welcome it. We would love to have more officers. I would love to have a female officer at our agency now, and we try to recruit, and there are several agencies around that have female officers, and we're 100% on board with that, and we welcome it and wish that more would apply.
Now, if somebody has a degree in like political science, does that help them into getting into the BLET easier? Does it? Let me rephrase that. Does it make the BLET class easier? Because I think you've got quite a few degrees, don't you?
I do. I wouldn't say it would make it easier. It's based on studying and studying habits for the block test. The way it works is they take a curriculum for a certain amount of time. They may have 24 hours of one curriculum, say criminal law. At the end of that 24 hours, they're tested on that block. So if they complete the criminal law block for 2 weeks, they take their test, they pass that test, they move to the next block. There are several, I'm not sure how many blocks there are now in BLET. I'm thinking there's over 650 some hours, and they're adding more every year. So once they complete the whole program, all the blocks, then they are tasked with a cumulative test for the whole BLET program. And they go, and it's a state-administered test. They go and they have to establish proficiency on all the blocks of instruction. Now, there'll be several questions from each block, but they have to take that whole entire BLET test to get their certification. They can fail 1 block or 2 blocks, and they can still retake, but if they fail what's called a fatal failure, then they cannot. They have to go back through the whole BLET program again.
When is the next BLET class coming up?
I spoke with the director, Philip Bailey, over at Isothermal, and I think the first or middle of May is the next class. It's going to be a day class, which will be primarily 8 to 5 Monday through Friday with some weekend work. They have been recently doing night classes, which are in the evenings, to accommodate for people working and things like that. So we're looking at being interested in sending people to this day class because it's a shorter class. And that's what we're interested in doing in what we're talking about today in this program, of being able to compensate people to go.
When do they need to come to the police department and get forms, or do they need to go to the college? Where do they need to go to get the forms to sign up for the classes sponsored by Spindale?
Well, by Spindale, you would come by the Spindale Police Department, and we just did a round of interviews. We put it out for several weeks and just did a round of interviews last week. But we have packets there. Can come by anytime to our front office and get a packet for the police officers, and we'll be glad to take a look at them. But any agency in the county, if someone wants to work at Rutherford or someone wants to work for the sheriff's office or Forest City or Lake Lure, I'm sure that they can just drop by their office at any time and get a copy of the paperwork that they need to get filled out to turn into that respective agency.
And the next class we start around the 1st of May.
I'm thinking it's in May. In my last talks with Director Bailey.
Anything else you want to add to this?
I'll say, I think it's a great program. I wish I'd have had it when I went through 20 years ago, to been able to just quit and go and be paid and compensated and go ahead and get a start on my retirement, my benefits and things like that. But it's a great program. I'm honored to be able to do it at the town of Spindale, and I think it's going to be a really good program for years to come.
Thank you for being here this morning, and hopefully we'll be able to get all of these departments filled up and get some good folks out here on the road.
I believe that would be a plus, and I appreciate you having me in this morning.
Oh, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
WCAB. Luke Ellerman, Lieutenant there, the chief there in Spindale. Good information about becoming a police officer, and they are short everywhere. So if you'd like to apply for that, please check into that a little deeper. Thank you, Lou, for setting that up for us. Now, on Thursday, we will have Alan Toney in to talk about his candidacy for re-election as county commissioner. Well, I don't know about you, and I've got to clear out here just a few moments, make room for My Great America with Jim and Butch. It's top of the hour, a little 5 after the hour, but I don't know about you, but a good glass of cold milk and an Oreo was sort of like top off the day. Or weekends when you need something, you sort of dip that Oreo in the chocolate milk, in the milk, eat those cookies. Well, Oreo has gone woke. Oreo commercial employs viewers to embrace homosexuality. Many of the largest companies in America have felt the need in recent years to make their position known on some of the most divisive issues in the country. Why they don't leave it alone, I don't know. But Milk's favorite cookie is among them. Oreos, for years, has vocally supported the LGBT community with special campaigns and products. One of the print ad, "What words made you feel loved when you came out?" was one of them. Another one is honor of National Coming Out Day. PLAG National has helped us highlight the LGBTQ plus flag, and they have Oreos with all those different colors, icings inside, looking like the rainbow flag. So Oreos is doing all they can to encourage children, of course, who love Oreos as well as some adults. Children, Oreos are big favorites, so they're peer pointing right into the heart and the mind of those little kids. They have all kinds of colors of Oreos now. And we're excited to announce that we'll be at World Pride 2019 in New York City tomorrow, June 30th. This was an older ad. Celebrate with us at Pride Fest, or go to our Instagram tomorrow to learn more about what we're doing and follow along with us. In a new commercial Monday, the company doubled down on that stance and more disturbingly employed its customers to take the same position. Oreo wrote in a tweet sharing the ad, "Coming out doesn't happen just once. It's a journey that needs love and courage every step of the way. Share our new film and let someone know you're their lifelong ally." The commercial began with a Chinese boy reading from a note. The boy said, "We are all one family. I know you came halfway around the world so we can have a better life, but I am." At this point, the camera cut to the note the boy was holding. Viewers could see the next word he planned to say was gay. Instead of reading what he had prepared, the boy changed course and said, "But I love you." The camera showed the woman he was speaking to, apparently his mother, who responded, "I think you're ready." The doorbell then rang, and another girl at the table quickly shoved an Oreo into her mouth, which was ironically the only reference to the product during the entire commercial. As the boy went into the separate room to get ready, he picked up his speech once again and saw a note on the bottom. "She might be my mother, but you're my son," the note said. It became clear he had been practicing for a speech he was going to give his grandmother. Coming out doesn't just happen once. A note on the screen read, "Be a lifelong ally." There are multiple problems with this commercial, and contrary to what leftists may say, it is very possible to point them out without being a bigot. First and foremost, the ad has nothing to do with cookies. There's no reason Oreo should be lecturing its customers about hot-button political issues. No matter what the left says, the issue of LGBT support is a political one. That brings us up to the next problem with this commercial. Everyone can agree that it is not acceptable to treat people poorly or attack them for their sexuality. I agree with that. The problem arises when it comes to acknowledging this behavior as a sin. There is a difference between loving someone and endorsing his or her actions. The Bible is clear that homosexuality is a sin, so it is not something Christians should be promoting, no matter what Oreo thinks. As Christians, we believe loving someone is deeper than just accepting everything that person is. Sometimes love involves addressing a concern with a brother or sister in Christ, uncomfortably as it may be. In the case of homosexuality, loving a neighbor may look like silently praying for him, or it may look like confronting him in a loving way about his sin, but it does not look like affirming his sin and telling him he's not doing anything wrong. Commercials like this that Oreo has put forward suggest the only way to be someone's ally is to cheer on his or her actions, right or wrong. Go for it. In the left's eye, it's not enough to quietly pray for someone or stay silent publicly on an issue. Instead, they suggest the only way to be loving is to outwardly promote it, cramming it down our throats and in our faces. Christ is clear in his teaching that this is false. He loves all sinners, but he doesn't pretend their sins are not sins. Addressing homosexuality is a deeply nuanced task, but this Oreo commercial attempts to oversimplify it by suggesting that everyone must either promote the behavior or be considered a bigot. It is a deeply dishonest and ill-conceived stance, but we shouldn't be surprised. After all, how much can we expect from a cookie company? That will appear in the Western Journal. Now, why Oreo would even step forward doing that, such has been such a favorite cookie for many thousands of people around the world. You know, of course, Disney has become woke, and we'll talk about that at a later time. But I think it's important to talk about it because, folks, we need to take a stand. We don't need to. Well, I know he's a nice guy, but it's okay. She's a nice gal, but it's okay. They're nice people, nice comedians, but it's okay. I love that TV show, so it's okay if they're promoting this and cramming it down our throats. No, we need to move away from that stance. And even move away from it at all. It's not okay. The longer we accept it, the longer we sit by and say, I'm going to keep watching it. I don't care if they are two guys kissing each other, two women kissing each other, are they promoting the homosexual lifestyle or the LGBTQXYZ lifestyle. It's not okay. It's not okay. But yet we continue to accept it. And the camel's nose has been under the tent long ago. Now it's pushing up and taking away the tent altogether. It's now go exposed. When Disney World becomes woke and they're going to do away with the he and she anymore, it's not going to be hey boys and girls anymore. It's going to be in the Disney shows and the Disney cartoons. They're going to have gay characters, about 50-50 in those characters. When it comes to that point where they're so accepting it, and they are out there, okay, I don't condemn them, but they're mistaken in their way of thinking. But we'll talk about that later. Just on my mind this morning, I thought it'd be something. Anyway, get out of here, make room, rest up a little bit in my throat, get ready for my Great America with Jim and Butch, and we'll do that in just a moment.